Hi all, welcome to my channel, TeaToasTnTaroT. We've got the King of Cups, and just as I was shuffling, I was thinking in my mind of the song Freedom by Wham, and I had to sing it right along to the chorus in my head before I could think of what the title of the song was. Freedom by Wham. So if that rings a bell to anyone, there you go. The King of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, Death, and the Page of Swords. So this is looking just straight off like could be a marriage or a relationship ended due to this Page of Swords. Now obviously we're in 2026, so could be either, but it's a Page of Swords involved. Could have been like a scam, not necessarily picking up cheating, although it could be, but it could have been a scam, a financial scam that's caused the end of this situation. Again, marriage or business partnership, someone else has got involved financially and brought it to an end. Knight of Wands, Page of Swords, the Devil. Yet again, someone's bought a young male has bought the end to a marriage or a business relationship by a scam. If it's been a marriage that's come to an end because of it, it's been a scam. It's been a con. They don't love you. They were just after you for your money. If it's business and you brought someone into the business, a couple in a business, and you brought someone in, they've scammed you for money. It's brought an end to the business, ruined it. And this young person who's done it could be going facing justice as well. It's brought an end, like I say. It's a young person who's come in, brought an end to a marriage or a business partnership, business relationship. It's to do with money. If it's the end of a marriage, it was never love. You've been conned and scammed. It was for money, but it's caused the end of your marriage. Or if it's business, it's some young one you've brought into the business and they've scammed you financially, and it's the business ended. But this young person is now going to face justice somewhere. Can't get away with what they've done, you know. There you go, sneaky behaviour. They might think they've got away with it yet so far. Maybe we've only just found this out. Number 7, it's the 7th today. Maybe it's only just been exposed. But this person's got to face the consequences of what they've done. The little devil. There you go, of course. So, yeah, well, obviously it would be devastating either way. It could be, you know, a marriage or a business, but it's a married couple involved. Like I say, if they've come in and caused an affair, it wasn't for love, it was financial scam. If they've come in and joined the business, maybe, you know, if it's an older couple, you've brought them into the business to deal with online stuff, and they've managed to scam you that way, you know, through they've got all the business passwords and access to the bank accounts and stuff. They've done it that way. But it's broke your heart. I think that's what's getting a married couple with either business or marriage, because it's a married couple's business or it's a married couple's relationship that's been scammed out of money, and it's brought it to an end. Either the marriage has ended or the business has ended, and obviously it could be both. Triple whammy. And this young person who's come in and caused it all with the sneaky behaviour probably thinks they've got away with it. This might have only just been found out. They could think they've got away with it. See, I said today it's the 7th. You could have found out, on the 3rd when business reopened after the new year. And you're still wondering, you still might be wondering what, finding out details and stuff. So they might still think they've got away with it yet. Stabbed in the back, look, see. That's probably how you're feeling now. And, just the shock, still probably in shock, still feeling backstabbed, and you haven't quite decided what your next move is yet. Utterly devastated, stabbed in the back, just, state of shock. That's the 10th, well, number 10. I said today's the 7th, it could have happened on the 3rd. So in the next 3 days, I mean, like I say, you could be in shock now, but also deciding what to do. If it's the marriage, obviously, if it's the business and stuff and financial and stuff, you could be deciding whether you want to make it public or go to the police and report it that way. But you're going to decide by the 10th, within the next couple of days. They could have left, like I say, if it's been some kind of scam involving a young, they could have left the country, gone abroad. 7, 8, or be about to. Another number 7, the Chariot, see, they could have left the country. And when I said justice, they might not be able to get it because they've left. Gosh, what a situation. 6, see, money. You might not have enough money left. That's what you might be thinking. You might not have enough money left to chase it through the courts or seek good legal advice. You might be financially wiped out here. 7, 8, 7, 6. If them numbers ring a bell, even if it's just come to my mind like a mobile phone number there. Like I said, the internet could have been done over the internet. Even if it's business or marriage, meeting online, hired them online, and they've got into all your details and wiped you out. Number 5, see, like I said, these might have left the country. Might think they're getting away with it. Look, the sneaky, smarmy probably thinks they've got away with it yet. Because you haven't done anything about it. They might think everything's just as normal, but you're aware. It's causing mayhem, but they're not aware yet. But just be aware, if you do go to expose it, they're going to leave the country, or, well, that's what it's looking like. They're going to leave the country, so they can't face justice here. I said, you could still be in shock. You could still be feeling absolute devastation, stabbed in the back. This is the moon. You're wondering what the next move is. Keeping you up of a night. voices in your head probably going over things, looking at things from a new perspective. Things are falling into place, like, the end of a horror film where you look back and you think, oh my gosh, that's that kind of thing. It's like someone coming in with a solution. So maybe you're going to ask for help and stuff. We've got the horse, February the 17th. Fire horse, year of the horse. Working out some kind of solution, someone offering a solution. There you go. To get back to number 10, maybe it's not all a loss. Maybe if you move quickly, that's what I'm just getting now. If you move quickly and think about it carefully, you may be able to recoup the money back. It depends how you're going to handle it. You've got to handle it sensitive. Maybe you've sought advice and they've said, how you handle a situation, you may be able to recoup your loss. You may be able to recoup the money, obviously, if it's a marriage or something. It's down to whether you're prepared to get it back together, but you may be able to get the financial loss back if you handle the situation correctly. Think wisely, think sensibly. Don't let your heart rule your head. Acting emotional, it's a time to think sensibly. Otherwise, you could wave bye to a lot. You could this is how you handle it. You can either wave bye to all the money that's gone, but if handled correctly, you could get it back. Decisions, see the way they're both looking, decisions, that's deciding what to do. The best way to try and recoup. Heavy burden, hard work. 10 again. So like I say, you could be in shock now, still wondering. 10, what to do. The mental burden, mental anguish of all what's happened. Wondering what your next move is. Just be aware your next move is whether you're going to get it all back or lose a lot. Tread carefully going forward. That's the message coming in, basically. Be careful on your next move. Be careful going forward, these next few steps, these next few days, because it's going to be a lot of messages coming in, a lot of to and froing. You could be speaking to lawyers, solicitors, police, whatever. There's going to be a lot of communication. But tread carefully the next few days, how you're going to handle the situation. Like, just that's it, just tread carefully. Just getting the vision of, walking over them swingy, rickety bridges in the films where there's one step missing and you've just got to tread carefully, be careful, watch what you do and everything you say and see. That's what I said. This is your next decision. You don't know which way to move. And the next decision is going to be you're either going to get it all back or lose a lot. And you're not sure how it's going to go yet, but there is a chance. Tower coming. Now that could either be, with the tower coming, could either be for you or them or both. Just be very careful. Because like I say, if you make the wrong decision now and react with your heart instead of your head, you could lose everything. Think with your head, even and that's your blind, because you don't know which way it's going to go yet. Use your head, otherwise you could lose everything. On the other hand, use your head correctly, and this could be them and you could, like I say, get everything back. But you've got to use your head. Think wisely, think clearly, try and get a good night's sleep. Like I say, this could be happening in the next few days. You could have found out. You could be getting over the shock. Need a couple of days to sort your head out, think clearly. You're not sure how everything's going to work out yet. But if you're wise, cool, calm, collected, that's what I've just picked up. The tower will be on them and not you. And there might be 4 of Wands. There might be a chance to get everything back. Good luck to anyone. If that's ringing a bell with anyone or anyone you know, let me know in the comments. And just, a note to everybody, be careful with these internet scams. They're going to get a lot worse. If you remember, the scam where you get a text message saying, "Mum, I need some money," and you text over. Well, them scams are going to become voice scams this year, where they can take your voice from a voicemail or a social media clip, and it could be your son or daughter ringing you up. It isn't, but it's their voice. "Mum, Dad, can you send me some money?" And you're going to think it's them. So just after this reading, my advice is to set yourself up a family password. If your son or daughter or anyone you know rings up asking for money, ask for the password, the family password. Could be like 6767, something like that. 67 blue paint, 6759, 6712, You need a family password because these internet scams are going to get a lot more sophisticated. Take care. Bye for now.